Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over our Witches DIY kit. So in this DIY kit, we're going to have 3 magnets as always. We have our cauldron, our potion bottle, and our witch hat. Also included is your glue bottle, your glitter spoon, your foam tape, and your glitter jars. So you have the glitter for your potion bottle, the glitter for your witch hat, and then your glitter for the cauldron. And you're going to use a little bit of this top color for the cauldron as well, and you'll see how we'll do that momentarily. The first magnet that we're going to start off with is the cauldron. We're going to do this one first so that when we do the potion bottle, we don't accidentally use all of the glitter for your main color. So each witch set has a certain color that it goes with. So this one is purple, there's orange, there is green, and pink, I believe. Alright, so the pieces that come in the cauldron is your magnet paper, your silver paper, you have a plain black paper, your acetate, and your glitter black paper, and your tiny little whichever color kit that you have. And then you're going to need 2 glitters, so you're going to need the whole color, and then this one has the black. So the difference between the black and this one is this one has a little bit of whichever color kit you have in it. So as always, the first we're going to do is peel off a little bit of your backing paper on your magnet. I have no nails, so I apologize if this takes forever. Okay, so just the top. You don't want to do the whole thing. Then you're going to take your silver paper and match it up right on top. So once you have it pretty centered, you're just going to squeeze on the top piece where you took the backing paper off. Then we're going to lift this up and pull out the rest of the paper and match up the back. There you go. Next we have your plain black piece, and we're going to put it on top and make sure that it's the right direction. So once you have it on top, you're going to flip it upside down, and then you're going to glue the back. So we're going to glue the very edge as close as you can. And then all in the middle. Once you have that, you're going to flip it back over and center it on your silver piece of paper. Make sure it's all nice and flat. Okay, so it's very important that you wait to glue this on top of the acetate until you use this as your little template, because we're going to stick this purple piece, in my case you might have a different color, right on top, and then we're going to glue in this little area right here. So just a little bit, you don't need much. Then you'll take your colored paper and put it right there. Make sure it's kind of centered. Now when you peel off your glitter, you're going to want to hold on to the piece you just glued on to make sure it's not stuck to the glitter. And just peel it off. It's going to lift up a bit, just kind of smooth it over. And there you go. Now we can match this up to make sure that our bubbles are all the same direction. Then we're going to peel off your protective cover on the acetate. I'm going to use my tweezers for this. You do not have to use tweezers. You can use your hand, but it's a lot easier if you have them. I'm going to stick it to the side and flip them over. And then just put dots all around this outline. You don't need a lot of glue, just a couple dots, but if it does go over, it's okay because it dries clear. And there you go. You flip it back over and center it on your clear sheet. Press everything down, turn it over. You can see all the glue. And there you go. Now we're going to do the foam tape. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top and go all the way around. When you hit a corner, we're gonna put our finger down, we're gonna push it down, and then pull the tape whichever direction you want it to go. So we want it to go down to fill in that gap. Once we have it down, we're gonna move our thumb right on top of it and then move it back up, and it'll make that little V. It's perfectly normal to rip the tape. In fact, you kind of want it to rip so that it goes where you want it to go. And then we'll go straight down. So you don't have to go in the handle. You just go straight down to the edge, all the way around. You don't have to go on the feet either. I'll show you what we're gonna do when we get to that point. Skip the handle, go like this, and here we have a corner again. And look, my tape is lifting up. That's perfectly fine. If you want to kind of push it down a little, you can. Now, once we get to the corner again, we're gonna press down, pull up because we want it to go up, and curve it to meet our last piece. Now here's where we are going to cut off our first round. Okay, now so we want the glitter separated for this purple part and the black part. Now what we're going to do is take our foam tape and we're gonna just go all around this purple part all the way to this top right here. So we're gonna push this part all the way up to the corner so it's flush, and just follow the purple or green or pink or blue. I'm not sure what color you have. And then when we get to the edge, it's a pretty sharp corner, so I'm gonna rip the paper at the bottom and then just follow it all the way back up. And then kind of at this last bump, I'm just gonna bring it on over this way and cut it off there. Now we're gonna do the glitter. I'm going to do probably 2 scoops of your color. You don't need that much because it's not that big of a space. You don't need that much because it's not that big of a space. There we go. Then we're gonna take our black glitter and just fill this bottom piece. And you're probably not gonna use all of the glitter that's in here, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, I think I'll stop there. Okay, next step. We have our top piece. We're going to turn it over. I still have a Sharpie piece here, which means that I still have my protective cover on. So I'm going to just peel that off and have that ready. Then we're going to peel off the rest of this foam tape. Make sure everything's nice and flat. And center it on as best you can. do our shake test. Make sure no glitter escapes. And there you have your cauldron. All right, and let's see if we can get it to glow. There you go. The next magnet on the list is our potion bottle. And yours might look little different from mine, but the pieces are all generally the same. We have your magnet paper, your backing paper, your tan paper, your acetate, your outline, and whichever color kit you chose. Mine is purple. So first we're going to peel the backing off of our magnet. Just a little bit, not all the way. Then we'll take our backing. Yours is probably going to be silver. We'll push this down. And then once you have it centered, you'll peel up this top piece and peel out the backing paper from the adhesive. Make sure everything's nice and centered. And smooth it out. Next, we're going to glue our tan piece. This one is pretty symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. Just make sure when you glue, you go all the way around the outside. Once you have that done, you flip it over and center it onto your back paper. So the glue doesn't dry right away. You can kind of move it side to side to center it where you want it to go. All right, so you're gonna take your outline, kind of place it on top. You don't have to do this, it just makes it a little bit easier to place your little, whichever color your bottle is gonna be. And then we're gonna put glue on the back of this. So you want this top little hump right here to be on the left side. Oops. So once you have that on the left side, you'll flip it over and you'll glue the back and kind of center it towards the bottom of your little potion bottle. Once you have that, you can flatten it down a little. And we can start on the next step. So next we're going to take our acetate, and I have a Sharpie mark on the top, so that means my protective cover is still on it. Then I'm going to take our outline and, oops, got something stuck to that. Put my tweezers on it, turn it upside down, and put some glue. You could do lines. I like doing dots. It's kind of a lot easier to control. Or you could do lines like that. Either one works. Then we're going to flip it back over and recenter it onto your clear acetate. Make sure you press down to make sure it's nice and stuck. After that, we will take our tiny pieces out of the baggie. And for these, because they're so small, I like to put glue in these empty spaces instead of on your actual piece. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue there. So you can kind of see. Then I'll pick this tiniest piece up with my finger, just the tip of it, so it's upside down, and I'll place it right in that little hole. glue is probably going to squish out of it, but that's fine. You can just wipe it right off. And then same with your bar. Put that down. Put that down and push it. And there you have it. Now we're going to do our foam tape. So we're going to start from the top, but if you can see here, the only clear part that's showing is right at the bottom of the top, the lid, I guess you could say. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our foam tape right in the middle here. And then we're going to press really hard with this hand and pull down with this hand, and it's going to tear the paper, and that's exactly how you want it, so that it moves the way you want it to move. And then you'll press with your finger, pull with your other finger, and push down as you go. Now with the circles, which I forgot to mention with the cauldron, are going to lift up a little bit, so you really want to press down and wiggle as you're going around the whole thing so that it doesn't turn on you and the paper doesn't lift up. If it lifts up, it's fine. It just makes it a little bit harder to do the glitter. Then we're going to press down, pull up, rips the paper. And then again, when we get to this side, press down, pull up. Then we're going to cut it with our scissors. Push it down the rest of the way. Like that. And now for this last part, we're going to just put a piece across the top so that the clear has a place to land when we put it on. And there you go. All right, so we are going to take our glitter spoon and our glitter jar. This one is going to be the full color, so whichever color your kit is, this is the color glitter you're going to use. Mine is purple. You're probably not going to use all of it, so that's totally fine. Just pour it in there little by little, or you could pour it straight from the jar. A little bit more messy though. Or to put our two hands on the side and just shake it. Make sure everything's nice and flat. The more glitter you put in here, the less it's gonna shake, so just keep that in mind when you're filling it. I think that looks perfect. I'm gonna put the lid back on my jar so that we do not lose it or spill glitter everywhere. Now, at this step, you might still have a Sharpie mark on your acetate. If you do, please don't forget to take off that extra sheet. I do not, so I'm going to leave it as it is. And just start by peeling off the foam tape. And don't forget to peel off this little top piece too. And then we're going to look at it from the top. It's my favorite way of doing this. And center it. Push it down. Make sure everything is nice and flat. Do our shake test. No glitter falls out, so we are good to go. All right, and so our last magnet is going to be the witch hat. You're gonna have your magnet paper, your backing piece, your middle piece, your acetate, your outline, and your tiny little pieces. The first thing we're going to do, as always, is just peel off the top portion of your magnet backing paper. Just a little bit. And then we're going to take your silver and make it as centered as possible. Push it down on just the top and flip it so that you can pull the backing paper out from underneath. If it rips, that's totally fine. Just make sure you get all of it out from under and press it down. Then we're going to line up our black piece and make sure that it's going the right direction. So then we're gonna flip this over, and this is the side that we're going to glue. So we're going to make sure we glue the very outline, outside. Then we're going to match it up and center on your silver piece. And there you have it. Now we're going to take our acetate. We have our Sharpie marks, and so we know that we have our protective cover. Gonna take our outline now, flip it upside down, and just put dots all the way around the outline. If you want to use lines, just make sure they're really thin so your glue doesn't seep out that much. If it does, it's totally fine. It dries clear, but it kind of helps. I'm gonna flip it upside down, place it onto your clear sheet. All right, so for this next step, we're going to need our tiny pieces. So we're going to open that up and pour them out. And then we're gonna do what I call dry fitting. So we're gonna put this in here until it fits so that we know which direction. So it's not that direction. Not that direction. Okay, so what's the other direction? So we dry fit that in there. Now we're gonna kind of hold it to keep it so we know which place it goes in, and then we're gonna glue all the way around. Sorry, it's not focusing. The edge, and then just put that right in there. Hold it down. Then we're gonna do the same for this guy. This one's real small. All right, so I think I got it. I'm gonna hold it in this hand, put our drop of glue in there, and push this down. And there you go. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top here. Press down, go around the curve, so we're gonna wiggle it a little. And then we get to this really steep curve here. And we're going to just press down and go straight back. It's gonna curve on its own. Then you're gonna wanna push it down really well to make sure it stays that way. And then we're gonna push down with our thumb again, and then pull straight up again. And go back down. And then follow the rest. I'm gonna lift this up a little, cut, and press back down. Now this glitter is going to be the mix between your black and your purple, or in my case it's purple, but it's whatever color kit you purchased. And remember, we're probably not going to use all of the glitter. That's totally fine. And we're gonna shake it. Oh, Then we're going to take our acetate. See, we have a Sharpie mark right here. We're just going to peel off the backing paper so it's nice and clear. Going to peel this off. And then again, we're going to look right from the top. Bird's eye view is your best bet on getting this centered. Oh, looks like I gotta press it down. Once you have it pressed down, you can do your shake test. Nothing escapes. And there you have your witch hat. There you go. Thank you so much for doing this kit with me. I hope you enjoyed. Stay in tune for the next one.